Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
There have been some bright ones, though.
No, but I have these glasses that when you put them on and you look at Christmas lights, it like either makes Christmas trees or Santa Claus or snow here. It's really cool. And depending on the size of the lights, they grow inside. It's fun for all.
Like a hologram, like those things?
Yes, just like that. Yeah. All right, so what's the first sign of the season, right? When you see this, you're like, yes, you know, it's
the eggnog in the stores. That comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like eggnog, but.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, what about you, Chris?
It's definitely
And it's like, it's real.
Yeah. When a lot go up. I agree with that. When you start seeing like house after house after house.
Yeah. When you start seeing the neighbors out there.
Yeah.
You always wait till the neighbors would do it, and then you were the first ones in our neighborhood, I think.
All right. We usually wait for a good weather day, but we got that luckily last week.
We sure did, absolutely.
All right, lots of good weather ahead. Actually, for people trying to get those yard displays up. Guys, have a great day. We'll keep it rolling here on America's Morning Headquarters until noon.
That's right. Keep it going here as we head on through this Tuesday. Lots to follow here for us. Of course, I think the biggest story we'll be following is just how warm it's going to be. You talk about a sign of the season. This is not it.
Exactly. This is not it. A couple folks, though, did actually get their first sign of the season with the snowflakes that are flying around in the Northeast. First flakes of the season there. So we'll take. All right, it was on this date in 1835, not far from Key West Campground in Florida, Missouri. We've got St. Louis up behind us, not far away either. Samuel Langham Clemens was born. You might recognize one of his quotes. Temperatures as the ridge continues to build. Temps above average again today. And we saw record highs yesterday in California, in Wyoming, in Montana. I think there was one in Colorado. And now we're going to see that heat bubble expand with the ridge expanding from the northwest over into the central plains. I mean, temps in Colorado are warm. Now, I'm sure that the ski operators are still having trouble making snow with these kind of temps that we are talking about, going 20 to 30 degrees above average. That puts us in record territory. Once you get 25 to 30 degrees above average, now we're talking about making the record books. And that little bubble of heat, 30 plus above average, expands tomorrow all across Montana, the Dakotas, Nebraska. Get ready. And the warmth expands east, too. So in places, love that 0% up there with percent of activity remaining.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Done with it. But here's what we had. Basically, this was the forecast when it came to what we dealt with here at the beginning of the season. Some of the numbers here showing up here for you. And, you know, we were on par in a number of these cases.
I mean, across the board, it was forecast to be an above average season. We were above average with the number of named storms. We were right on track, though, with hurricanes and with majors. But we had 21 tropical cyclones, 21 names, 7 hurricanes, which is average. 4 of them were a Cat 3 plus. That's a major hurricane. And we had 8 landfalls in the U.S. here, many as tropical storms and not as hurricanes, thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we look at those landfalls there for you. You can see a number of them here right along the Gulf Coast. In fact, that's the area that really saw the brunt of the activity in terms of landfalls. But then was also one that hit us there in the Northeast, Henri.
Yeah, so once we got to Nicholas, well, that was like the 19th landfall in the past 2 years, right? Because go back to last year and how busy it was. So it's been a stretch, I know, for folks along any of our coastal areas, really. And Florida, again, largely escaped it this year, but there was always these threats. You know, we had Elsa that threatened us here in Florida. So again, 8 landfalls. Ida, of course, coming in as a major in Louisiana, and that was the one that this year, I think, you know, folks will remember 2021 for Ida.
Absolutely. And now looking back, remember 2020, Louisiana seemed like they had the bullseye on them, just a number of different systems. We got into the Greek alphabet. We had to deal with Zeta as well as Delta there in Louisiana. And then this year, also, Louisiana saw its fair share of these systems.
And in between them, we had that cold snap and the big deep freeze from Lake Charles. You know, we've had your mayor on how many times now? I'm sure he does not want to be on the Weather Channel anymore. But of course, we had in New Orleans, Claudette and then Ida, which came through and then smashing a path all the way up into the Northeast with torrential flooding rain, a deadly hurricane.
Yeah, so one of those things to remember that, you know, these things are not just coastal systems. They eventually move inland, and we see the impacts that they bring inland as well. So there's the whole season as that's where all the rain has been. This is the last 7 days, and it stands out. Western Washington.
I would like to do every 7-day stretch going back to, like, September. And I bet they've all looked like this.
Yeah.
In fact, the numbers have added up. Our wettest fall on record up here in Seattle.
And you can see with the number it's done, going back to early October, this was the drought monitor, pay attention to Western Washington here, and we kind of roll through the drought monitors, and you can see that drought just getting eaten away.
Now, we do still have exceptional drought in the interior, you know, and this is the typical dry area anyway of Washington and Oregon. So I feel like when we're exceptionally dry here, it's something, because we don't get a lot of rain comparatively anyway.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So yeah, indeed, here we are for today as we watch for yet another river to kind of set up and impact us here in the Pacific Northwest. This has been the atmospheric river season as of late, right? We've been dealing with these rounds of rain and moisture trains coming on through, and so we'll see that here lasting through at least the mid part of our week.
Yeah, the brunt of that latest atmospheric river does come into British Columbia, but then, you know, the moisture comes down the coast and we see it into Washington. Rainfall today for you across northwest Washington, and then some of it spreading in. You know, the Cascades, it's too mild. We're not going to see a lot of snow here, so it's going to fall as rain, and it could be flooding rain because of that upslope.
Continuing into Wednesday afternoon, again, more chances for rain coming on through. So again, this is not ending anytime soon there. The areas that certainly could use a little bit more farther south here as we get into parts of the Four Corners, into Nevada, California. There's your latest drought monitor, and again, we've got a lot of areas in that exceptional category.
All right, so this is where we have been beginning the rain, and it was so promising back in October when we had that big atmospheric river come into central California. It's like, great, yay, this is going to be a great water season, and then all of a sudden, it stopped raining.
Fire potential, we've got that, again, elevated here across Southern California from around Santa Clarita all the way back down towards essentially the border there with Mexico.
Yes, so again, we're going to have that offshore wind. That's going to be a concern. It's part of the reason why it's been so hot as well. So the two, I feel like, work in tandem. It's like the chicken or the egg. What comes first, hot or dry?
Right.
They both just work together to make it more hot and dry.
Now, I promise you the days have changed. We've gone from today to tomorrow, but the forecast in terms of the elevated risk for fire potential, that remains in place in these areas. So yeah, this is a zone that desperately could use some of this wet weather.
Right? If you like the snow, that's kind of how you feel. You still want it to be cold? I
just like my seasons to feel like the season.
All right, Alex, we've got 60s in Atlanta today. What do you think?
Yes, that's nice. That is nice. That's comfy.
Maybe
again,
70. What happens if it gets...
Now you're starting to get out of the comfort zone. But I mean, I'm not going to complain about 69, 70 degrees.
Well, don't go to Los Angeles, 78.
Yeah, that's too hot.
Too warm. We do have temps well above average. Denver, 73. I mean, who's below average here? Anyone?
Really nowhere.
No
maybe, I mean, maybe northern stretches of Maine.
That's like average.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the closest you're getting.
It's going to be a warm week.